Bad news for Republicans in California. They actually may lose their House majority if they lose too many seats in the state of California. Coming up, we'll give you the latest polling and what we're doing to fight back to save these seats and flip a few others from blue to red in California. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California, and I have long told conservatives and common sense voters in this state, don't flee. You've got to stay and fight. And what's going on right now in the race for the U.S. House of Representatives majority, the House majority is on the line in the state of California. I'm going to talk about the fresh polling that we are concerned about and what we're doing to fight back. But I always remind people who say, well, I'm leaving California. It's a blue state. I'm going to go to a red state. Everything's going to be better. Number one, the grass ain't greener on the other side. There's a lot of bad things in those other states. And your government in that state could turn purple or blue because so many liberal voters from California are following you out the door. So there is no safe space for you, Snowflake. You might want to consider staying and fighting in California because the grass ain't greener on the other side. Second, stay and fight in California because if we stay and fight and we up our game, we can actually flip seats and move the needle. Oh, I'm not waiting for the California Republican Party to get its crap together. They are an absolute dumpster fire of incompetence and cowardice. They have sold us out. All they know how to do is surrender. I've said the way we're going to take back California are grassroots conservatives working together, standing on principle, and fighting. And that's why Reform California exists. That's our entire mission, is to rebalance the politics in this state by giving grassroots supporters like you a plan, tools, and an overall infrastructure to tie it all together. And we are moving the needle, and we are flipping seats. Staying and fighting can be done. Third, if you love your country, we cannot have a healthy, safe, and secure America with a sick California. It's just not going to happen. There's no way. I can go through a number of issues, particularly the border. The fact that California is a sanctuary state means that our entire country is never going to have a secure border until we fix the policies here. But on a more specific level, if we surrender California, we may never be in the House majority again. Because California has so many House seats that if we lose too many more in California, we lose the ability to hold the House of Representatives nationally. Even though California may, at the moment, be a blue state, sticking it out in this state just for the congressional seats is reason alone to stay and fight. As part of our campaign plan of targeting seats in California, we are at Reform California targeting House seats to defend the ones that are right now in dangerous territory that Republicans hold, but they may lose. But also we are targeting seats that we think can be picked up. And there are several in California we can pick up. And I will tell you this, we've been doing this plan for the last several cycles, and it has demonstrated significant results, big success. Because in 2020, California Republicans flipped 4 congressional seats from blue to red. The last time we won even 1 congressional seat in California was 1998. So we had a 22-year dry spell. Those 4 seats were on the chopping block in 2022 because Democrats redistricted the boundaries, packing in voters to gerrymander, manipulating the lines. And they said, oh, we're going to not only get those 4 seats back, we think we can get 6 seats that are now vulnerable that Republicans hold. Well, guess what? In 2022, we won all 6 of those defense seats. And we flipped, surprisingly, a 7th seat from blue to red. I'm going to go through some of those seats because many of those seats we now have to defend. And the latest polling is alarming. Here is the Politico report for California. Exclusive battleground House race polling. This is fresh out today. It's from University of Southern California, California State University, Long Beach, and Cal Poly Pomona. The poll was just done, and it finds that Democrat candidates in these target seats, in several of them, have an edge. I'm going to walk you through the seats. Here is a picture of our congressional map in California. And the colors do not reflect who holds the seats. We do have some safe seats like Darrell Issa in the 48th and Jay Obernolte in the 23rd. And then, of course, up here in the 1st District with Doug LaMalfa. Tom McClintock's in the 3rd District, pretty safe. But most of our seats we're trying to defend. We've got a seat here in Central Valley held by Congressman John Duarte, which was the seat we picked up, surprisingly, in 2022. It is a defense seat. We also have Kevin Kiley's seat. That is not the safest seat. We have to keep an eye on it. Moving down to Los Angeles, we have Mike Garcia in the 27th District, which is Santa Clarita. We also have in Orange County several seats that we're fighting for. Michelle Steele, which is the 45th District. We have an opportunity to pick up a seat from Democrats, Katie Porter's seat in the 47th. Scott Baugh is our Republican candidate there. Out in Riverside, we have a defense seat that we're worried about, and that is a seat held by Ken Calvert, the 41st District. He's fighting against a Democrat, Will Rollins. That could flip. And of course, back up in Central Valley, I skipped this one. David Valadeo in the, I believe it's the 22nd District. There it is, that little green district right there, Aqua District. He's always had a tough seat, but he's always prevailed. What does the polling show? Well, the polling shows Democrats are ahead in several of these seats. Let me go through. In the Garcia seat, George Whitesides is leading by 1 point, 43-44. And again, this is going to be a very tough seat to retain, but I believe Mike Garcia, our candidate, can do this. In Orange County, Michelle Steele in the 45th District is right now trailing by 2 points to Derek Tran. In Central Valley, David Valadeo is trailing by 4 points. And John Duarte is trailing by 2 points. This is very concerning. Ken Calvert is in a dead tie, dead heat with Will Rollins in that Riverside seat. Only good news out of this poll is Scott Baugh is leading by 4 points over State Senator Dave DUI Min. Now, do I believe these polls? Well, I believe that the races are tight as a tick. And so if we lose, let's see, the Garcia seat, the Michelle Steele seat, the Valadeo seat, the Duarte seat, that's 4 seats we've lost in California. Maybe we lose the Calvert seat. That would be 5 seats. Maybe we win the Boss seat. We're still net 4 down. The House majority hangs in the balance by just 2 seats right now. In 2022, they only won it by 5 seats. I tell you this with absolute sense of urgency. The fight in California is real. The fight in California can be won. The fight in California might determine, I would say, will determine who the House Speaker will be in the next year. If President Trump wins, which I believe he will, he needs to have a House majority. Otherwise, you're going to have nothing but gridlock, and he will not be able to turn this country around as easily. No, it matters in California. This fight matters, and that's why Reform California is mobilizing like we've never mobilized before. Our secret weapon in this fight, the Plain English Voter Guide. The Reform California Plain English Voter Guide is getting a lot of independents, even a lot of Democrats, to cross over and vote with us on the ballot propositions because they know the Democrat politicians in this state have hidden tax increases on the ballot, are lying to them about what actually these ballot measures do. The false and misleading, confusing ballot titles have created an opportunity for us, the common sense Californians, to talk to our neighbors and say, look, you know, the politicians have given you a ballot that's really confusing. They're trying to deceive you. Use the Reform California Plain English Voter Guide. It is so simple to use. Go to electionguidecalifornia.org, or you can go to reformcalifornia.org, either website. And when you click under the voter guides, you'll find a statewide guide, plus we have our regional voter guides that have all the local tax increases on them. So we expose every tax increase. There are 470 tax increases on the ballot in the state of California. It is insane. They're trying to grab our wallets. They're trying to increase our cost of living by even more. We expose all of the tax increases on the ballot because right now many of them are hidden. That is the first big benefit and attractive feature of our Plain English Voter Guide. We also cover all the statewide propositions, all 10 of them, in plain English so people know what they're voting on. And of course, we make endorsements for candidates based upon their opposition to tax increases, their support for border security, and their support for police and parents. It is a very common sense voter guide, easy to use. And if you give simplicity to your neighbors, even the Democrats and the independents, they will probably vote our way. It's a powerful weapon, but it requires your help. I need you to share this voter guide with everyone you know. It helps the House races I just talked about, but it also helps us win the state legislative seats, breaking the supermajority that the Democrats currently have in Sacramento, and electing judges, school board members, city council members up and down the state. Good candidates who are going to be reform-minded and commonsensical in their policies. Look, we have so much on the line in this election, and yes, California matters. It matters for the House majority, and it matters on a number of ballot propositions, and it matters on a number of these local races that we are seeing are winnable for us. The best way you can help, share the voter guide at electionguidecalifornia.org. Encourage your friends and family to vote early. I have a separate video covering why it is best to vote early and why it's the best for election integrity to vote early. We also urge you to chip in a contribution online at reformcalifornia.org. We cannot fight this battle without your support. We rely on small contributions from concerned Californians like you. If you don't contribute, we can't wage the fight. Make the decision. Do you want to fight for a better state? Do you want to see if we can save the House majority in these key races in California? Or are you going to just sit back and just assume that all is lost? I will tell you that the politicians in Sacramento, the Sacramento swamp, they want you to feel defeated. They want you to feel powerless, but you're not powerless. Working together as a movement, we can overcome their money and their media. But we need your help today. So chip in a contribution at reformcalifornia.org. Also, please share that voter guide at electionguidecalifornia.org. Until next time, Carl DeMaio, Chairman of Reform California. Help us break through the censorship of the liberal media. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and smash that notification button so you can stay up to date on all the developments in California news and politics. Also, please visit the website, reformcalifornia.org, for ongoing news coverage and to join one of our campaigns in the fight to take back our state. If you can, please sign up as a volunteer or chip in a contribution. This episode of Reform California with Carl DeMaio, paid for by Carl DeMaio for State Assembly 2024.